Hey everybody, welcome back. I have a calendar video for you for Fire Emblem Heroes. However, I'm taking it a little step further. I put highlight blocks on what should be focused on, in my opinion. And hopefully you find it helpful, because I'll be real, this is a hot mess. This is a hot mess. I remember making jokes 4 or 5 years ago, being like, man, 2 summer banners back to back every year with revivals. God, what's that calendar gonna look like? We're here. And truthfully, this isn't even the worst of it. This isn't even the worst of it. It's going to get so much worse. Once the July calendar drops past this little July 10th date, poo boy. It's going to be messy. So let's walk through the things that maybe you should look out for, and also the things that frankly don't matter. Obviously, if you want to maximize, you want to be logging in daily. That's what these gold guys are. Not really a purpose in putting a block around that, because like even if you just tap in, tap out situation, you're pretty much good to go for the month. Obviously, you want to get the quest rewards and things like that, but ultimately, just make sure you're logging in. If you want to do the bare minimum, as someone who loves the bare minimum in most things, just make sure you're logging in. There are a lot of events. Obviously, like a lot of them are reoccurring, right? So like SDS, SDR, Warfront, Journey, Voting Gauntlet, Affinity Battles, Hanzo Loki, handful of GHBs. Like they're all. This is nothing new. That's nothing new. This is all things you know about. There's not really a reason to talk about them, except for the lore heads will appreciate this. The Summer Tempest trials are happening. First on the 17th, and then again on the 8th. So for those uninitiated, or maybe you just need a refresh, typically it goes from a standard banner to a special banner to a standard banner to a special banner. But there are several times in a year, I think like maybe 2, maybe 3, they kind of flip a bit. And I want to say it's like around New Year's where they have like a back-to-back special. I think it's like Desert Banner and then Devotion, right? End of January, beginning of February. And then it also happens in June, July when they have not 1, but 2 swimsuit banners. Which is, honestly, it's overkill. Okay? I'll be brave. I'll say it's overkill, bro. Because, like, the Desert Bear is basically the same thing. It's just in January instead. So I don't know why we got so many bikini-clad heroes, but, like, it is what it is. Maybe a sports festival banner. That could be something you do in the summer. That might be neat. We'll see. But more than likely, that's what's happening again. So these, in recent years, have kind of delved into more lore type stuff from past worlds or past books. And that is likely what's happening again here with these two. I think last year it had what did we have? I think it was fairies last year, right? Or no, it was Nidavellir. That's what it was, because we got Dagger. And then we got the new little accessory thing from Reagan. Which brings me to the next point. There may be a new hero type introduced through this. I know. You're like, but there's so many already. Yes. Yes. Exactly. There might be another one. So that's what's happening there. And so I would expect a book to follow suit, mayhaps, with that. So I think what would that put us at? Book 7 now? 6. Book 6. Book 6? What was book 5? Book 5, I think, was Nidavellir, right? Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So book 6, whatever book 6 was, which I think was Embla stuff. I think it was Embla stuff. I want to say it was Embla stuff. Who knows? I can't recall off top of dome. But that's what will be happening there. And then obviously, Hall of Forms, pretty big. We'll touch on that in a second. But Hall of Forms this time is Engage. Why is that important? Engage has a lot of the more recent heroes, even if they are just like 1 or 2 years out. Thus making the things they put up in Hall of Forms probably more valuable. Now, a lot of this depends on which skills are available and which, frankly, which types go in. Whether, if you get a handful of infantry options, you're probably set. But they love to do this thing where a really good Hall of Forms option pops in, but it's like, ooh, you are 1 cycle late to the party. Unfortunately, this really baller skill that would be really good on the candidate this time, yeah, it's not available till next run. Sorry. Which is just so diabolical that they planned it that way. Or maybe there's too many skills. That could also be the thing. Who knows? Who knows why things happen the way they do? But the point is, there's probably, if you care about, recency stuff and like what is naturally kind of good, I would argue anything that got released a year ago is probably not top peak form as it was back then. But depending on the type, you might get some really good skills that have come out sort of recently. And I know that more than likely we're looking at a Lear for this one, legendary Lear, who is a candidate, who is up on the docket. But some things I overlooked. Some things I overlooked include emblems. Now, for what it's worth, Ratatoskr is confirmed to be coming back at the end of the month for the monthly banner. Great. However, and I'm only saying this for the sake of saying it, okay? Sigurd and Celica are both there. They're both there. So is Ike. Ike is also there. I doubt that they would probably put Celica or Sigurd in there. Maybe Ike. Probably definitely a Lear, though. We're just being honest. But it's possible. It didn't occur to me at the time when I was making the hero tracker, but like, yeah, technically they have the Engage epithet on there. That is possible that they would, they would do that. And it's awfully odd that we don't have any special banners notated for like an Emblem return celebration or something like that. I thought for sure Ratatoskr would not return. She is returning. So now I'm doubly confused about what's happening in blue. But there is the potential that we have like a special summer celebration type situation thing. And that is the reason why there's like an overcrowding in blue. There might be like a Hero Fest or something. I don't know. I thought one of them would show up on a Hero Fest, like maybe Emblem Sigurd. And then you would have revival banners, which would include the one that Ratatoskr was on, and that's why she was coming back. And then she wouldn't show up until like August or something weird, right? That's not what happened. So I don't really know what's going on there. But Hall of Forms might be something to look out for, especially if you are, like I said, an Lear fan. There have been a lot of really good dragon skills that have come out recently. She is an infantry, green dragon on top of that. So just good stuff in general here. Okay. Moving past, here are the banners that you probably want to maybe pay attention to. There's a lot, okay? It's an upside down pyramid. That's a problem. It's not good by any means. So the thing that you can't see because my head is blocking it, so I'll leave it up here for now. The main thing that you want to pay attention to is this guy down here, okay? Right here. This is important. This is importante, okay? This is likely an Emblem hero, and I've been saying for months, probably Micaiah, okay? And by God, if we didn't get Legendary Black Knight last month, I'd have been like, maybe it's not Micaiah. No, it's definitely Micaiah now. 100% it is Micaiah. And she's likely coming back alongside freaking Sakura, and then it's she's either going to be a colorless tome or she's going to be a staff. She could be a staff also. Nobody thought Sigurd to be a lance. This guy did. They all laughed and mocked me. But I mean, we know what her emblem does in Engage. We've seen what her attuned version is. In my opinion, at state of release, there's never been a bad Micaiah. Okay, I know, brave. Brave to say. That is probably Emblem Micaiah down there, just waiting in the wings. After all the tempting banners that have come around, after all the summer skins that have been released, I say skins, that's a light term. It's a brand new option, brand new hero. I feel like everything leading up to this is bait, okay? I'm gonna be so freaking for real. So just keep in mind, don't let me say I told you so. I'd rather be wrong. Because like look at all this overlap, dog. Like look at that. All the good banners you care about, they are literally all happening in like the same kind of silo, okay? Even Summer Part 2, which is what this is. All right? Which is, probably another one to watch out for. This is Summer 1. This is Summer 2. They're even going to have overlap. This is typically a 60-day banner. It's reaching well into July. I assume it's also going to be 60 days. So, like, you're going to have a lot of time, is what I'm saying. And they may do a cheeky thing where, like, they release tickets 2 weeks after the fact or something scummy like that. So just be aware that waiting on banners typically always the best thing, because at best case scenario you summon early, you get like 2 weeks of like slightly elevated rewards compared to everybody else, and then everybody else catches up to you. Worst case, you summon immediately, you burn out your stash, right? No more resources. You get ahead of the game for like 2 weeks, and then they fall off. So, like, I always urge caution when waiting, unless you got scratch, or you are just so enamored with a character, and you're just like, yep. That's my jam right there. Okay, that's fine. Go for it. But waiting is always the best option, obviously. The other thing that you might maybe want to watch out for is this DC banner. These are going to be reruns. Okay, so take that with some salt, please. They might throw like a tuned Hector on here who has DC Echo, right? Like that's a big possibility. He also could just be on the Emblem banner at the end of the month. He could be on both. I don't know, but in my brain, I'm like, well, that's probably the best possible DC skill unit that has universal appeal for that banner. And even then, it's like, man, he got ran through the gauntlet the first half of the year already. So like, and you got him for free. I think he was the winning one. So even this, even though this looks real tempting, okay, just look at where it's pieced, right? It's meant to take all of your resources before this and this. Okay. I'm putting it there for you. And then the other one is double special heroes, which could have Desert Marissa. That's a possibility. It could have the little gremlin Hortensia winter variant that has Ice Lock, which is kind of a staple for most healers. Well, every healer. If you want to have fun with the game, you need Ice Lock, basically, is what I'm saying. And then also, you could see Hathran, the New Year duo Hathran. That could happen. They may also just branch into Devotion. I talked about this on the Hero Tracker, so I won't go like super into detail about it, but it's a little hit or miss. A little hit or miss depending on your needs. A lot of good options. I wouldn't say necessary options, right? I feel like this is just like, if you're gonna spend and you don't care, then this is for you. Which typically is what most double specials are. Unless you waited after the debut and you were like, I would rather have the guaranteed 50-50 between two limited options, right? Then in that case, yeah, go for it. That makes more sense mathematically, I think, is waiting again. Who knew? But other than that, those are the things that I really think you just kind of need to pay attention to, because a lot of these are BHBs, they're Tempest Trials, they're summer reruns. They don't matter. Okay, this banner, garbage, doesn't matter. The two mainstays that you're going to care about, okay, those are going to get reruns on multiple banners that have better odds and better assurances that you don't just get like a standard 5-star instead. Okay. And the other Grimas are going into standard pool. So, also it's an Awakening banner. It will probably get a rerun. Let's be real here. Like, it's an Awakening banner. It's probably going to get a rerun anyway. So like, use your tickets. You know, what I did was I pulled everything that wasn't the 4-star option. And I ended up getting, I think, a Noir, which is fine, because I can give the bow to somebody that I care about. Maybe Pirate Bridget or something. That's not important. Point is, I pulled everything up until my tickets were gone. I was like, nope, that's it. I'm donezies. Thank you. Not a bad strat if you're just kind of wanting to see you can hit something good, and you know. But other than that, this is what I think you should care about. This is what I think you should care about. Ultimately, it's just this. You know, summer is summer. We'll see what happens there. Again, there could be an event or something going on. I don't know. But the best way to find out is to wait. But we won't have to wait long, thankfully, because it's already the 11th. That's debuting on the 17th. And I think, yeah, the Tempest Trial Focus banner is happening on the 16th, which means the 15th is the last day to have the banner trailer. Okay? So it's the 11th. Banner trailer has to happen by the 15th. Only a couple days in between there, right? Math. So, with that, I hope you found this helpful. I hope maybe this was like slightly easier to look at and it kind of drowns out some of the noise. I don't know who their graphic artist is, but God, I feel so bad for them. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. Hope it helped. Leave a like if it did. Otherwise, you'll lose every 50-50 for the next 10 years. Yikes. Don't let that happen to you. I will see you in the next one.